Hi, my name is Olivia Sharp, and today I will be discussing cows and climate change. So first off, the issue. One of the issues is greenhouse gases. And by this, studies show that cattle are the #1 agricultural source of greenhouse gases worldwide. Each year, a single cow will burp about 220 pounds of methane, which may not last as long as carbon dioxide, but is actually 28 times more potent when it comes to warming the atmosphere. Secondly is biodiversity. And by this they mean that cows take up nearly half the land in the U.S., and by overgrazing these lands, we are degrading soil health and soil biodiversity. Next is deforestation, and one of the main points of this is that forests, wetlands, and savannas are actually carbon sinks, meaning that they absorb and store carbon, but unfortunately we are currently destroying them to make room for cows, and rather than destroying the carbon, these cows are actually producing carbon, which obviously has negative effects on the environment. A 2018 study actually found that about 12.4 million acres of forest, which is equivalent to more than 5 Yellowstone national parks, are cut down every year to clear room for industrial agriculture. Another statistic is that 30% of Earth's ice-free land mass is used as pasture for livestock. And fourth, we have resources, and this basically just means that cows require more resources to produce food. This is because they're ruminants. And beef requires about twice as much land per gram of protein as chicken and pork, and 20 times as much land as the equivalent amount of protein from beans. Third, for the next slide here, we have some statistics. And for the first one, it is that livestock are responsible for 14.5% of global greenhouse gases. If cows were their own country, they would be the third biggest greenhouse gas emitter in the world. This can be proven as the agricultural sector is one of the world's biggest sources of climate-altering gases, and the vast majority of which come from the meat and dairy production industry. By the year 2050, that's when the world's population is projected to hit about 10 billion people. Scientists anticipate that it will use most of the annual carbon budget just to feed everyone. And the annual carbon budget is just the amount of carbon that we can emit without exceeding our warming targets. And then America generates 3 times the global average of carbon dioxide per year, which is about 16 metric tons of carbon dioxide per person per year. Now, fortunately, hope is not lost because there are many possible solutions to this. One being eat less beef. Experts say that beef may become an unsustainable diet with the growing population anyways. And if every American swapped out beef in their diet for beans, it would get the United States halfway to meeting the 2020 greenhouse gas emission targets laid out in the Paris Climate Accord. Another possible solution is sustainable agriculture. Individual dietary choices, when combined with more sustainable agriculture, can have a profound effect on global climate outlook, especially in countries that are considered more wealthy, such as the United States. Another supporting argument for this is that turning ranch land into forest will create new habitats and reduce the effects of agriculture on water pollution. Next is breeding, genetics, and nutrition, which basically refers to the increased efficiency of livestock production. When managed correctly, cows can help restore healthy soils, conserve sensitive species, and enhance overall ecological function. And the next possible solution is seaweed. And studies found that there can be up to a 60% reduction in methane emissions in a cow just by using 1% of seaweed in the diet. So that was my presentation. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you found it educational and enjoyable.